What up, YouTube? Bo Farm back for another video on this beautiful day, y'all. And if y'all don't like hard work gardening, if y'all only do easy garden, turn this video off now. This video is not for you. We're gonna get it in, y'all. We're gonna do so much. I got a list of things I'm gonna do today. Just watch, pay attention, and your spring garden will be spectacular. All right, it's time to start hardening out these seedlings, y'all. These seedlings want some God light. Now, don't get me wrong. Those grow lights on the inside serve their purpose. But when it's time, they want that God light. Only God can do it, y'all. That's just some of them, y'all. All right, and if you ever wonder what your plants look like when you start your seeds too early, this is it. I started these in January. I probably should have started them in February, just to be honest. But the cool thing about tomatoes, see how long that is? I can plant it all the way up to that first stem, y'all, and it'll produce fine. So they're long and lanky. They got some size, they got some thickness on them. I ain't lanky now, I'll take that back. But I gotta get them some sunlight, start getting them used to this Georgia heat. Highs a day gonna be in the probably 72, 73, which is awesome for them. Look at this basil, y'all. Look at that basil. This is mammoth basil. It is mammoth. Peppers, eat your heart out. I fertilize them a whole lot more than I usually do. I was fertilizing these once a week, which seems to be working. And I got some chamomile back there that's been getting shaded out, but don't worry about it. I got the twin towers of tomatoes. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna separate these tomatoes. I should have cut it a long time ago, but now they live together, they conjoined twins now. So I'm gonna plant them in just like that, and we're gonna see what they're gonna do. Ooh, look at that Oswald eggplant. If it's a prettier eggplant in the world, somebody lying. Pippin's golden honey. Yeah, y'all. And let's say albino pepper, that's probably some herb I gave up on. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But y'all get some God light. Tell them amen. All right, this on the side of my greenhouse. And if you notice this year, I'm going to a lot of container. And I'm gonna tell you why. I want to conserve all this space here for long vining plants. Things that winter squash and watermelons and things of that nature, they need a lot of space. I'm trying to grow more food, y'all. We're living in a crazy time. But these will be my tomato buckets, 5-gallon buckets from Tractor Supply. I don't know how much they cost. I just accumulated them. So I got 5. And in the heat of summer, when it's about 100 degrees, it's too hot for these tomatoes. So I might put them somewhere else along this side to get some sun. But once the temperatures get in the 90s, I'm gonna put them back in this cool spot here. I'm gonna fill these buckets up and show you what I'm gonna use for a little trellis system. All right, I'm gonna apply this 333 organic fertilizer from Ivy Organic. Yeah, promo code in the description, you already know. But I'm probably 2 weeks from planting. So what I want to do is go ahead and put some fertilizer in it, because organic fertilizer ain't readily available to your plants. I mean the granular kind. So it takes a couple weeks, probably a little over a month, before it's available to your plant. So I go ahead and put it in now before I plant. And like I say, I'm probably 2 weeks away from planting my summer crops outside. So I'm just gonna get to it. And I've already got pine soil and compost in here. So it gives it time for the fertilizer to break down. So when your plant ready, it's ready. You know what I mean? And I'm not going crazy with it. I'm just putting what I think my plant needs. Just massage it into that top layer of compost. However you do it is how you do it. These little sticks in there, leave them in there. Let them break down. Let them break down. It's okay. It's okay. And I'm gonna have 1 tomato plant per container. I don't want to overstress it out. I'm not putting other plants in it or whatever other people do. I just feel like this worked best for me. 1 tomato plant per 5-gallon container. Yep, tomato cages. Do I hate tomato cages? Hell yeah, I hate tomato cages. But new gardening, we're gonna try new things. So tomato cages, and these are just for my determinate tomatoes. I got bigger trellises for my indeterminate cherry tomatoes, but it's just how we do in business, y'all. Don't look that bad. Y'all think it gonna work? Put a thumbs up or thumb down in the comment or saying, them tomato cages suck. I even made a video on it, y'all. All right, a lot of people ask me, how do I fertilize my blueberries? I only use soil acidifier. That's all I ever use. Then the next question is, when do you do it? When your blooms starting to come up like this, the first hint of spring, that's when I do it. I got like 7, 8 of them, and all I do is get a scooper, scoop it like this, and I just put it around. I don't work it into the soil. I don't do none of that. I just put it on the outside. And I immediately water it in. Immediately water it in. And I know somebody gonna say you got to work it into the soil, but understand, in nature, in real life, everything that get added in the woods start out on top and then work its way down. Plus, this fertilizer probably gonna take a month before it's gonna be available to these plants. So by then it'll be broken down and going into it. We all got our own way of gardening, y'all. We listen, but we don't judge. All right, and for my indeterminate, I don't think that one's tall enough. We'll deal with it when we get to it. I got my trellises offset for my tomatoes. Back there. Gonna do what it gonna do, y'all. But we gotta start getting some of this stuff out, y'all. It all gotta go. I know how y'all feel. Well, shoot, if you keep letting it grow through spring, then you can eat it. Don't worry about it. We're gonna cut it at the base. And that's it. And that look bad. Compost. That one don't look bad. We're gonna cut her and she gonna get 8 now. Let me get out the shadows for you. I know somebody, you know how people say, get out the shadows, we can't see what's going on. I understand. All right, so I'm just gonna pull that out. Darn that. That's too much work. Cutting it. Pull her out too. Everything in this bed gotta go. Everything gotta go. That pepper plant that I thought was gonna come back, it did. So we're gonna cut it right there. If you wanna come back, come back from that right there. Come back from that. All right, My collard greens are already starting to go to seed, y'all. All of them gotta go. All of them gotta go. Yeah, I should have got out here and picked them a little sooner, but I didn't. I don't need to cry over spilled milk. Let's clean the bed up.
I wanna let you know, oh, you're the only one for me, no one else. I'm gonna shout it out, yeah, up on the mountaintop. I'm gonna let everyone know about my love, so I really hope you love me too. Yeah, I really hope you love me too. Oh, there's something inside, yeah, that really makes me wanna speak my mind, yeah, yeah.
Let's try to get some of these weeds out of here. And some of this mulch. Uh-oh. Pull it up with garlic, we'll get it. All right. Now, them collard green roots I'm gonna leave in there. We'll go with some compost, y'all. I'm gonna use some more of this Ivy Organic 333 balanced blend. And like I said, we pre-fertilizing because we know it takes time for this fertilizer to break down. So we're putting in the work now. So all we gotta do is plant plants and harvest. That's all we gotta do. Good cheap compost. Whatever compost you use it. Rabbit manure, chicken manure, your own compost, or the cheap compost you get from Lowe's. It's all compost. It's all good for the soil, y'all. All of it. So we're just gonna even it out with my hand. With my hand. Even out. Oh, she looks so good. And that's all I do to go from fall to spring to winter to whatever. All right, next I'm gonna start pulling out some of this cold-hearted citrus, man. We don't have a day that's gonna drop below 40 degrees. Some of this stuff is cold-hearted down to 5 degrees. It's a waste in here. So we're gonna move all the cold-hearted stuff out here, sit it out in the sun, and I got a spot just for it. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put my cold-hearted citrus along this sidewalk. And what you don't wanna do, you don't wanna put your citrus on pavers, on the driveway, because this heats up fast. And if it heats up, it's gonna heat up that black pot. You're gonna have to water it more, and it's gonna go in the shop. Especially when you get like 90, 95 degrees. Do not put your citrus on these blocks. Put it on the grass, put it on the ground. I got wood chips along here, so I'm gonna put them on the wood chips, y'all. All right, this is what I wanted to look like when I come down this way. The pathway was supposed to go all the way back, but till we get enough money, we're gonna stop it there. And that's the wind, y'all. It feels so good when you've been working out here all day. But I brought these out because we don't have any temp below 40. No need for this stuff to be in the greenhouse. This is Miwa kumquat, and keep in mind my lowest temp that we've seen is coming up is 40 degrees. And look, she still got kumquats on her. We're gonna take that one. All right, meanwhile, kumquat aim cold hard down to 15, maybe 20 degrees. All right, this is an eye chain, I don't know, 10 degrees. Thomasville 5, 20, 20, 0, that's the yuzu lemon. And this is this Fukushu kumquat from seed. Now when fully mature, I don't know, 15, 20 degrees. Thomasville Centrain, cold hearted down to about 5. Centrain about 5. Fukushu 20. And this, my friends, look this up. This is a sunquat. Sunquat. I don't remember, but I know it's at least down to 15, 20. Another Miwok kumquat. And another eye chain lemon, y'all. I love it. I love it a lot. All right, y'all. Before I get out of here, I got to show y'all these blooms, y'all. It's my methyl plum. It's been in the ground. This is its 2nd year, so I'll never fertilize this tree again. You say why? All right, let's talk about it. All right, after 2 years, if this tree isn't dead, the roots are established. These roots in there, the roots are currently growing. So what happens is when you keep fertilizing these trees, well, it keeps the roots right here where the good fertilizer is. Would you go outside of where you at if you getting all the food and all the nutrients you need right here? There's no need to leave. So, in saying that, fertilizing these trees after 2 years could hinder your tree. Think about it for a minute. Don't think about it too long though. And this is my Burbank plum. I had said if she didn't put out a lot of plum this year, she was out of here. She must have heard me, cause she looked like she don't want to go nowhere. Look at all this. All the way up this tree. Yeah. And I still say for my money, these peach blooms are the prettiest blooms it is. They're beautiful. So of course we're gonna get a bunch of peaches. That was my Red Haven. That's my Red Globe peach. And she is going crazy with growth. And Old Faithful, my old Santa Rosa plum. I haven't fertilized this tree in 2 years. Everything this tree needs is in the soil. Sometimes you gotta make them trees work for it. Stop babying these trees. All right, another one. It's my Asian pear. This is my oldest tree, but it had so many problems. Lord have mercy. She finally looked like she ready for the world. And she blooming everywhere. I got maybe 3. I don't know how many pears I got up this last year, but for my money, that's the best tasting pear I ever had. A little Orient pear. And this only been in the ground 2 years. I don't know if it's gonna hold them flowers, but Lord have mercy. And some of my other trees. And I did all that to say this. None of these trees have been fertilized. They're not. The nutrients are in the ground. Stop babying these trees. Once you put them in the ground, you give them to God and say, God, you take care of these trees. I've done my part.